And welcome aboard, everybody. Another edition of the Phillies Fastball. I'm your host, Mike Gill, along with my guys, Jeff Kerr, Oscar, Budejen, and, of course, the Phillies again. 6 straight losses now for the Phils. We can jump right into this one because it looks just like all the other ones, guys. They can't hit. They don't score. And, a bad inning, 4 runs from Nola. He gives up 4 in 1 inning. And once you get 4 early in the game, I guess, Oscar, I'll start with you today. I've been starting with Jeff the last couple days. When they scored 4 against Nola, you felt like the game was over, right?
I'm going to guarantee a win tonight, guys. How about that? I'm going to starting with this. I'm guaranteeing Jesus Luzardo is going to have the best start of the year, and he's going to do a tremendous job, and the Phillies are going to win today. But let's start there. Look, Mike, more of the same, right? More of the same. The hitting, we only got 1 run, 6 hits. We from runners on base, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. We left 10 on base. Look, we were 0 for 12 in the series against the Braves. We're 0 for 7 today or yesterday. The hitting is absolutely not there, and Nola didn't have it yesterday. I mean, that's as simple as that. When you look at 4 base on balls, he just didn't have it. So more of the same.
Jeff, they scored 4 runs in the second inning. Yeah, they scored 4 runs in the second inning. The Cubs did, and just like Oscar, you felt like the game was over because of all the deficiencies that I'm sure you're about to point out.
5 sip, and that's it. Game over.
0 for their last 22 with runners in scoring position. 2 for their last 28 during the 6-game losing streak. They got a third baseman who has the lowest batting average through 22 games in the live ball era. He's on this team, and people want him benched. Well, guess what? The guy that you wanted him benched for is in the minors right now.
Can't swing the bat.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'm seating Baum 2 or 3 games and starting Mundito. I don't care. That's it. Done. I mean, I'm done.
I'm done with it. That's the other issue. He's bad.
Well, I want to get into Stott here in a minute because there was a situation in the game last night that came up involving Stott. But Bohm, guys, what do you do with Bohm? Oscar, you sound like you're going to sit him for a couple days.
Sit him 3 days.
Is there a guy in the system? You said Kemp. Felix Reyes has played some third base. Is that a place?
I don't want that experiment.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for a way,
I'll take Schwarber at third base.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for a way to get Bohm a day to sit, they got a couple of options. Kemp can play third. Sosa can play third. Yes, as I mentioned, Reyes has played, about 100 games of third base. Again, I don't think the Phillies see him as a third baseman.
No, they definitely do not.
Right, exactly.
Look, I'll take more. Look, I'll take 3 days or more.
Point being, they have options for Bohm to not play, is my point.
Yeah, I'm with Oscar on this. I would definitely give him a couple days, at least a couple days. But I'll tell you what, is it crazy enough to just kind of set him down and let this guy just reset and get away from here for a bit?
Yeah. Roger McNamee, that is in Phillies Weekly, have said that a number of times that maybe send him down. I mean, send him down to wake up and get those bats waking up. And until he wakes up, he stays in the minors.
You know what? They did this with Brett Myers back in 2008. Remember Brett Myers? He moved to the bullpen, went back to being a starter, was horrible. And Brett Myers was a good pitcher here for a lot of years. He was in year 7, like Alec Bohm. A lot of
You did it with March last year. March last year, Jeff. He went down and he came back like a different player.
Yeah, Marsh got indirectly kind of was hurt, and he went on a rehab assignment, and that kind of got him going. They did it with Alvarado a couple of years ago, and that really changed his whole career. I mean, him going down there, he came back a different guy.
And you know what? They all say it. They get humbled when they're down there. They do. And, I know they had a loophole with Brandon Marsh and, his injury or whatever it was. But at the same time, these guys came back different people. They had different personalities. It was like, okay, let's reset here. Let's do what got us here. Alec Bohm needs to do that.
Listen, I agree. Bohm has been, and by the way, the sad part is Bohm is a big key to this team, and it's one of the reasons why you're really struggling. 0 for 3 last night. He struck out. He did walk. He's hitting 133, a 401 OPS from a corner infielder, Alec Bohm. And then Stott's the other guy. I mean, he did have a hit last night, and then there's a moment in the game where they had a lefty on the mound, and Stott comes to the plate, and they allowed him to hit. What were you guys thinking at that moment?
You know what I was thinking? Why is Felix Reyes on this team?
Exactly, and you got Sosa on the bench as well. I mean, to come in and back up defensively afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were wondering because, guys, the Phillies are so by the book. I mean, usually, and in this instance, they let Stott come up against Milner with a couple of guys on base. You know, you got Harper who ends up walking, and Bohm somehow gets, so you have 2 on with 2 outs, and Stott comes up in the 8th, and they let him hit in that spot, and he ends up, I think he popped out to third base or something, right?
Let me throw you an idea, guys.
At bat too.
Let me throw you an idea. And I know this could be dynamic. Why don't you send DFA more and bring Stubby up? This team seems lifeless. This clubhouse, this dugout. Bring him in.
Remember before the year they were thinking about bringing up 3 catchers, and everybody looked at them like they were insane? It doesn't look that insane right now.
Yeah, I mean, and Stubby is a clubhouse guy. He brings the dynamic. Remember how he played out with March in the minors last year, and how March. I mean, look, Stubby. This clubhouse, more than the lineup, this clubhouse needs Stubby in there to start bringing some level of energy. I mean, we lost. We're playing lifeless.
He has a really good relationship with Painter, too. Oh, by the way, like the guys who have life in that clubhouse are the young kids. Crawford. I mean, Painter's always been kind of all business, but Crawford's always got a smile. I know Kemp always said, and he's a businessman like too, but I feel like everybody's getting ingrained in that right now. It's like when Stubby's there, it's, oh man, you came to see me today. You know, that type of stuff.
It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. This team needs a different vibe.
There's 2 things here. Right. Yes. Stubbs, certainly. We talked about Dylan Moore. He is not needed on this team. They don't need a super utility guy to play. They need a guy that can play. They don't need a guy that can just be here. So Stubbs, if he can get here and add some energy, he could probably play second base for 2 innings if you needed him to in the event that, that kind of stuff. They tried him all over in spring training. He could probably handle it. But, right, can he get – how about even being another catcher? Because Marchand just can not – he did get a hit last night for the first time in the season, but that's one thing. 2.
Sort of the first time, but yes.
Yes. But, yes.
He's up to 0.65, by the way.
Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest, though. Bringing Garrett Stubbs up here is not changing the problems that this team is having in the lineup. So,
but it's helping change the culture. It's helping change the culture.
That is true.
A huge issue.
That is true. 100%. I will agree with you on that. But if they
the best part about this is right now, you got nothing to lose. You're 8-14. You've lost 6 games to the Braves over the last 6 days. Look, it's going to take you 2 months to get back up to 500. Let's be real here. It's going to take at least 2 months.
Oscar, on Friday, you and I talked about it, and we didn't know if it was going to happen. We said if the Braves sweep you, you are 6.5 back. Well, we thought you would at least get 1 game in that series. They got swept. They're 6.5 back, and now they're 7.5 back because you lost last night, and the Braves keep on winning. You take a look at the standings right now. You're 7.5 games out of this East race already.
You're in a hole.
Stinks.
You're in a hole. I mean, beyond the division stinking, you're in a hole right now. You're 8 games. I mean, whatever, 6 games behind the or 7 games behind the Braves in the loss column. I mean, you're in trouble. I mean, you're in trouble right now, and you have to wake up. I mean, without a doubt, it's 8-14 on the Phillies there. I didn't change that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like,
yeah. It's a minor typo. I was trying to reduce the number of losses. I can't believe it, by the way. I mean, it's just crazy.
Scott Lauber tweeted this out earlier. He said, since 1900, the Phillies have been 8-14 or worse 26 times. The only time they ended up with a winning record was in 1982 when they finished 89-73. History is suggesting this season is over and in strong peril. Are you guys watching a team right now that just doesn't have it?
Yeah, right now, yes. I'm looking at a team that they can say what they want, and they told me last week they kind of indicated that they're pressing a bit or they're trying to do too much, and they need to stop doing that, but they keep trying to do too much. I think the Stars are trying to overcompensate for Alec Boehm and Bryson Stott and Rafael Marchand. I don't want to pick on Marchand here, but right now he's your catcher because JT Realmuto's out. So, and they didn't want to use JT unless it was an emergency situation last night. They had an opportunity to do it, and they didn't do it.
Well, and by the way, you had the same inning, too. Let's go back to that Stott inning. They let Marsh hit in that inning against Hobie Milner as well. So you had two lefty bats that you generally would hit for. It's almost as if, guys, they gave up last night. It's almost as if they said.
And Milner is a very nasty lefty. I mean,
yes.
The way he throws, very nasty.
Right, he's got
look,
that.
I know Rob and Dombrowski are on the same page, but it feels like sometimes Rob's like, look, this is what I got. This is what I got to deal with.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
he can change things around. I mean,
you're right, though, Jeff. Jeff, you're right. They are on the same page, but usually that page says if Marsh comes up late in the game against a lefty, you're going to hit for him. And they let Marsh hit last night, and they let Stott hit. So it was almost as if –
do you think that goes down to what do I got to lose at this point?
It was almost as if Thompson said, listen, I've been trying it, going by the book. This time I'm just going to let these guys hit. And now everybody's up in the arms. Why would you let those guys hit?
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody wants the feel until you actually do the feel. Then you realize the feel doesn't work.
Guys, he can't win, but let's talk about Thompson and the situation. You know, where they are, you've lost, 7 straight now, 6 straight, you're 7.5 back. You know, they fired Joe Girardi on June the 2nd. They were 22-28. How long can you let this team play this lifeless?
Here's the thing. Like, Joe Girardi never won here. Like, they were bad the first year they had him. They missed the playoffs in the COVID year when 16 teams made it. Then they were 82-80 in 2021 and missed the play. So you knew what you had. And Joe Girardi was as lifeless as they come. And Rob Thompson was on that staff, by the way. Uh-huh. They gave Rob Thompson a chance not even to save the season. It's like, no, let's just get us through the year. And he got into the World Series, and they've been winning ever since. And I said yesterday, they've had 2 stretches this bad in the Rob Thompson era. At the end of 2022, they rallied, they beat Washington. All they needed to do was win a couple games. They made the playoffs, and they made the World Series. We know what? 2023, they had a bad stretch. They rallied to make the NLCS, and this year feels a little different for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I'm in the clubhouse. It's because everybody's like kind of fine, but maybe they shouldn't be fine.
Well, we were talking about this the other day, and we suggested that sometimes you need to do something to make the players uncomfortable. Take away something that they really like. They like Rob Thompson. They like Kevin Long. Maybe you have to do something to say, guys lost their jobs. Are we at that point?
Look, I don't think so. I look, in my opinion, it would be a huge mistake if we let Topper go. Topper is one of the most organized guys. I prefer to do other things, like I just told you, bringing Stubby up and trying to change a little bit of the culture in that clubhouse. Maybe you send Alec Boehm down for a week or for 10 days, right? And then you bring Stubby up and start changing the culture of this team and making people accountable. I mean, in the sense that will send to me a message that said, "Hey, we got to
okay." I want to.
And then you keep more. You keep more because he can play third base, right? And you can keep him while Alec Boehm is down there, and then when he comes back up, and then you can let him go. I mean, but you need to make some changes because whatever you're doing right now, it ain't working.
I got you, and I'm just giving you a lot of stuff that my radio listeners send in every single day. The lack of accountability. Last night, Bryce Harper, let's be honest, there's a foul ball. He didn't go after. I mean, he basically gave no effort on that foul ball last night late in the game, and people are saying, don't you have to do something there? At what point, let's say you bring Stubby up and nothing changes.
I think that's where Charlie Manuel got a lot of respect by this organization and this fan.
Bingo.
Even before he won the World Series. Because in that year, in June of that year, Jimmy Rollins did not hustle on a pop-up. And I was there. I'm like, wow, he didn't hustle. And then he didn't come back in. That was like the message. Oh, I don't care who you are. You are the defending MVP of the National League, and I know you're struggling. I have 2 rules, and you just broke one of them. Be on time and hustle.
Yep. Well,
that's simple.
So did you guys watch the Harper play last night thinking the same thing?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's unfortunate, guys. I mean, it's I agree. It's an accumulation of things.
By the way, I don't even think that's a Rob Thompson. I think that's around Major League Baseball right now. I just don't think
I mean, what happens if you sit Harper, and I understand, right? I mean, if you Harper, it's complex, guys. This has to do with psychology. I mean, this has to do with a lot of components here. I would prefer to send a message like sending Alec Bohm down than sitting down Harper. And I do understand what you're saying, right? I mean, it's very, very complex. I mean, look, it's complex, but you have to make some changes, and you have to make some changes at an emotional level. This team needs to feel different, and it doesn't feel different. And
sending Taiwan Walker down isn't going to send the message.
Yeah, exactly. Or sending Otto Kemp down so he can get enough at bats. I mean, you need to make some changes to his lineup. And
you know what, though, Mike, to add to your point, right? You brought Felix Reyes up, right? You really could, in theory, send that message and play him at first base and just make it up. Oh, yeah, I gave Harper the day off, even though deep down that's
well, and Jeff, I said the other day, which I don't know if you guys, look at it the same way I did. He comes up Saturday night, hits a home run. He's the only guy that gives you any offense. And then the next day, he's not in the lineup because of right-handed pitcher. You know what? I would have played him in right field and said, look, you showed up, hit the home run. He gave us a little spark. Garcia hasn't done anything. Reyes, you're playing right field tonight. We got to get something going.
Or Reyes, you're going to play left, and Marsh, you're going to play right. We're just
whatever.
Up. Yeah.
I mean, I think Reyes actually, the way Thompson kind of said it, seems like he's more comfortable in right than he is left.
Well, he is. Yeah, he played right in Reading last year.
Exactly. So I would have played him in right field instead of Garcia. And the problem is Garcia's hitting in the 4-hole. You're going to put Felix Reyes in the middle of the lineup when he's had 3 at-bats?
Hey,
this is the problem. They have options, but they're not good options.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, let me put it this way: who's you gonna hit? Baum? You're gonna hit it? Stott? Who are you gonna hit fourth? I mean, it's crazy. You don't have anybody.
Well, that's the thing. So you're going to basically keep trotting Adolis Garcia in the 4-hole because you just don't have anybody else to do it. Real Muto probably. I would imagine Real Muto, when he's back, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the 4-hole, which is crazy to think because he was hitting 8th. He was hitting 8th at the start of the season.
But he's the one who's also hitting the ball the opposite field. By the way, I'm going to go off on this tangent again, too, because he's really struggling with the Mets. I feel like Bo Bichette and the Phillies both needed each other. They both did. Like he could have stunk here, or he could have been. Or this lineup would have been better, and he could have stunk.
Jeff and Oscar, I need you guys to go listen to some post-game Mets stuff from national people and local people.
Is it bad?
It's the same, but it's the same conversation they're having here. Lifeless. They can't score. The pitching stinks. And here's the point for all the people that said the Phillies ran it back. The Mets did the exact opposite. They tried to shake it up and do something different, and it's not working for them either.
Yeah, well, you know what the Mets organization can't realize, and their fan base really can't realize? Their season 2 years ago was a fluke. It was an absolute fluke. The Phillies should have been embarrassed they lost to that team. That team was not good. They got hot. They lost to the Dodgers in the NLCS like they should have. And I told everybody this. They're not going to be good in 25, and they weren't. And then they spent a bunch of money. They spent stupid money to try to be good, and they're somehow worse than the Phillies.
Oscar, I want to. It is ugly. Oscar, you've been around Rob Thompson a lot. Obviously, you called games for the Phillies. And you mentioned how organized he is. I mean, you're hearing a lot of people talk about Topper, and the fans don't see it that way. What is something that you see being around him as often as you have been that the fans do not see? Because they see a guy who, listen, he's very laid back. And these Philly fans, they want passion and fire. And he said it the other night. You can't have emotion in this game. What do you see behind closed doors being around him for as many years as you were that these fans are not seeing?
The respect the players have for him. The respect. This is a gentleman that has been in the game for so many years. He's extremely, extremely organized. the way this team is run by a professional. It's run by somebody that understands the game, understands how to win. This guy have been in every single situation and has strived as a coach and as a manager. I mean, he's look at the record. I mean, look at the record. 90. I mean, this guy has gotten us to the postseason 4 years. I mean, he got the team by Girardi. He got this team into a World Series the next year. I mean,
2022 team, and I tell a lot of players from that team, I said before Rob took over, you guys might have been the most unlikable team because you were a bunch of highly paid players that weren't producing, and all of a sudden you produced.
So I'll ask both you guys.
Look at Michael.
Not
is something else.
Michael.
Right. For those of you listening, Michael is in the chat, in the YouTube chat, and he says the Phillies can play the Mets. At least someone can win. That's like a NBA game with two teams trying to tank, and neither team wants to win the game, right? I want to ask both you guys, because Jeff, you've covered Thompson as a beat reporter and Oscar as a play-by-play guy. What's the disconnect then that the fans who don't like Thompson? I mean, let me tell you, I get the text board. These people can't stand this guy. They wanted him out after the Mets series.
They can't stand anybody. They can't stand Nick Sirianni who wins. They don't know what they want. They really don't. It just shows to me how clueless some people are with this team. I'm going to tell you something from my experience with Rob Thompson. He does have a sense of humor.
Before you go, I want you like I got people text him. My guy Pat from Ocean City calls him Rob Zombie. We got other people who said he doesn't know how to.
Do you not like winning? Is that it? Like, well, I'm telling you, fans do not like winning.
What's the disconnect?
Look, the bottom line, Topper is a guy that respects the players. He's a player's guy. He's a guy that players walk into his office and they can talk anything out there. I mean, he's a guy that respects the guy, respects his coaches. This is a professional run organization, guys. I mean, it's not. I mean, with Girardi, I did not like Girardi as a manager. I mean, I did not like the way he approached people. I mean, he's blunt. I mean, he's a different guy. This is a professional guy.
Remember, he stopped for like 2 days and benched him.
Look, do I like the fact that he wants to run the lineup every day the single way? I don't. I would make changes. I would make certain adjustments. I don't like that part of him. But he's a professional manager. I think it would be a huge mistake if we let Thompson go. It might be.
I get mad at this when they say it's a country club vibe. It is not a country club vibe.
It's not.
You have no idea what a country club is. There are personalities on this team, and they do show it. But it's hard to show it when you're losing. It's hard. Like, look, Rob Thompson has a sense of humor. He jokes with us all the time.
Well, I talked about it like in football terms. Andy Reid on the podium had no personality. Andy Reid behind closed doors was full of personality.
I was talking with a couple players about this early in the season, and one of them asked me, "How does Rob treat you guys?" We're curious, and I said, "Awesome, he does." And they're like, "That's how he treats us. Like he treats us like grown men."
He shakes your hand and said, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a few days. Hope you're doing great." I mean, that's a type. He's a professional. He's a gentleman and he's a professional guy. He respects you and he expects performance from his guys. The bottom line is they're not performing. It's on the players, guys. Period. That's it. It's on the players.
Well, I will say, if you listen to the Mets stuff as I brought up, those same kind of things is that this is more on the general manager and how flawed the team was that they built. They got a first baseman who doesn't really play first base. They got a third baseman who doesn't really play third base, and guys who are injured there. We'll wrap up with this. Obviously, tonight, you look at this series. You got the opener tomorrow. I mean, tonight feels like a game that you have got to find a way to win. Yeah. Luzardo. And Imanaga. But Imanaga carved you up last week. So I don't feel good about this one, boys. I don't know about you.
I feel good about Luzardo. Luzardo's going to win us. Luzardo's going to have the best game of the year.
That ain't saying much because he's had a lot of bad games on.
He's gonna have a tremendous start, guys. He's 4-1 against the Cubs, 3.54 ERA at Wrigley Field. He's 2-0 in 3 starters and 0.95 ERA. Here comes the good Luzardo to just shining light on this field.
This is where I think, too, a lot of people have it confused. They think the starting pitching is bad because of Taijuan Walker. It is, but everybody else has not been great either outside Christopher Sanchez.
All right, well, that's tonight. Imanaga had a night, 11 strikeouts in his last outing against the Phillies last week. Luzardo struggling this season. Can he go back to his winning ways? 0.95 ERA.
I do think he's going to have a good game.
I do too, but they might lose 1-0. They might lose 1-0 today.
By the way, we have scored 2 or less run in 10 out of 22 games.
That's incredible. Yeah, when you look at
throw the damn towel. Throw the towel.
Luzardo, man. Luzardo, vamos. It's your turn,
you
baby.
Look at these numbers, it's almost hard to believe. I was looking up stuff last night, and I'm like, this is incredible. Someone pointed out to me today about Alec Bohm when I put Alec Bohm's numbers up there. He goes, I was looking on Savant about his batted ball rate, and like that he goes, I thought I read it wrong. I'm like,
it's
no.
Not good. Not good. Guys, Phil's tonight. We'll be back with Phillies Fastball tomorrow. Oscar and Jeff, thanks, man.
Take it easy. Let's go Flyers. Let's go Phils.
All right, boys. We'll do it again tomorrow here. Phillies Fastball.
I'll be right back. See you, Mike. We're now saying goodbye. I'm sorry.
All right. See you, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.